news, Gauchos.
Strange news has risen all throughout America. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of culminating school students have been found congregated into large areas, all wearing similar garbs.
The garbs are, of course, of similar color, whether they be green, blue, red, it doesn't matter. In fact, our scientists at NASA were unable to determine the main cause of this nationwide event, but speculations show that the cause ends up turning out to major injuries of those who partake in this pseudo-ceremony.
A devastating time for Narbonne, with over 400 students being a part of this tragedy.
That is a grand number. In fact, let's go move on to our specialist of this, Angelica, and see what's happening at the scene.
Angelica?
We managed to find some who believe they know where they're going. Let's go ask them.
I'm going to UC Santa Barbara.
USC.
CSEOB. Go Beach.
Now.
CSEOLA.
Santa Monica College. Harvard.
University El Camino.
Cal State Northridge.
UCLA.
University of Hawaii at Manoa.
Sidewalk of 405. Selling orange.
We really don't know what's going to happen to them after the ceremony. Until then, back to you, Wayne.
That's devastating.
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh. As a matter of fact, more breaking news on the situation, Gauchos. Our scientists over at the Security Assessment Laboratory test found...
AKA SALT.
They're not supposed to know that, but you know what?
now they know
They
the
found that
secret.
those after the ceremony have developed severe cases of alcoholism, financial burden, and even major personality deformities.
Many of my friends that went through this have faced the exact same thing. Narbonne is facing an increase in those going. So, we don't know what could happen at this
We
point.
don't want those people to go because they're not ready for any of this. All of this. Do we even know what happens during the event?
Apparently, the master of ceremonies forces hundreds upon hundreds of students to sit in rows, terrifyingly awaiting their demise.
That's torture nonetheless.
Imagine if these were animals. I mean, Kim is an animal, but besides that, PETA would be up here in no time at all.
But for now, we can only wait. Wait for the inevitable. We wish you Gauchos the best of luck and hope you don't embark on a path of danger and or demise.
Alcohol. But let's move on to somebody who clearly has way more privilege than us, and is way taller than me, and has more money and financial backing than all of us, and I just hate you. Here's General News Anchor Nathan.
Good morning, Gauchos. Now, I know a lot of you have hopes and dreams and whatnot. However, that probably doesn't matter. This country doesn't produce anything anymore. It used to be that you could work in a factory and support a family of however many kids you like on one paycheck. And then those kids could all go to college and afford it on their own dime. However, not anymore. Get ready to work full-time and overtime, as well as your wife and kids, just to keep a roof over your heads. While there's more homes than homeless people, you'll be working yourself into stress-induced disorders and cancers just for a rat hole apartment. Did you know that all employment growth since 2000 went to immigrants, and all of that employment growth is essentially slave labor in the service industry? Things aren't getting better, and I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder. Both Democrats and Republicans are working hard to deprive you of the means in which to acquire marketable skills by making you pay ridiculous amounts of money for them. Then, when you can't afford to acquire these skills, you'll be competing with billions of people who live on $2 a day or less and will work that service job 10 times harder than you for 10 times less. Thank you, globalization. If you want to go to grad school for an actual degree, you'll be paying off student loans until you're 40. Bachelor's degrees are worthless because now we're taught if you don't go to college, then you are a loser. And now everyone has one, as well as the debt that comes along with it. However, you can always join the military-industrial complex as a disposable pawn and in turn get a nice sustenance package. This is your reminder that this country is falling apart, that social services will continue to be slashed, and banks and big business will now, thanks to the Democrats and Republicans, work together with the government to ruin your lives. Christian and Jewish lobbies rally for war and pay off your elected officials with millions of dollars. Banks are the supreme power, and your every dollar is controlled by unelected private banks that do whatever they like. Remember the economic crisis? Remember the layoffs? Remember when Daddy lost his job? Expect more because they don't care. It's all about profit. It's all about bleeding you dry. Get ready for your food and your water to slowly give you cancer and diabetes due to lack of regulation, and for your culture to continue to rot from within with creationism, ultra-liberalism, state-sanctioned degeneracy, identity politics, hip-hop culture, and the far right. You should be in the streets howling, protesting, shooting the ridiculous amounts of guns we have and take pride in. The time for revolution is now, but that'll never happen. As long as we can rake in pennies at our little jobs and come home to the all-powerful television screen, nothing will happen. Then you'll work more and more for less and less, enjoying less freedom and less options, but the crushing boot of the state and the corporation behind it. We're not going out with a bang. Everything will keep getting worse unless we wake up. Look at your country's actions. Look at everything it doesn't give you. Everything is detrimental to your well-being, whether it is the government that can shoot you or the corporation that can easily trick you. Left, right, it doesn't matter. This is a dying empire in its final throes, and this isn't even news. I am just mad. Back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Nathan. It irks me just how rich you are, how beautiful you are, how more privileged you are than all of us. And it irks me that all of this is also especially happening to our people at Narbonne High School. Like, seriously, what?
We're contacting all our specialists to see if there are any alternatives to this traumatic event. We'll get back to you as soon as we can.
So let's move on to sports in the meantime. Sports.
Okay.
Hey, Gauchos! It's that time of year where seniors get to start a new chapter in their life.
Yes, that's right, but as your sports anchors, we cannot leave you guys without a quick recap of how Narbonne did throughout this year.
Let's start with swim. So Caesar, do you know what went on in CIF?
About 12 varsity swimmers were able to attend CIF and show their strength.
Well, it's a really amazing accomplishment, meeting all of the requirements to go to CIF. We're very proud of all of you guys.
So let's give a round of applause to the following senior swimmers who went to CIF. Georgina Aguilar,
Shannon McAlpine,
Eduardo Perez,
Francisco Lopez,
Raylene Tuinya.
and Angel Moros. Congrats to all of you and all of the other swimmers.
Now let's head on to volleyball. So the volleyball team placed third in the Marine League and lost in the semi-quarterfinals against Carson. That's one way to finish your season.
And we cannot forget about the baseball team, who also went to the Marine League Championships.
Softball placed fourth in the Marine League and lost first round in playoffs.
This year has been a handful for sports. As a tennis player, I understand the frustrations and the happiness a sport can make you feel.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I remember when the tennis team also went to the Marine League Championships. It could be a great stress reliever or a stress inducer. However, you decide how to take it. Just make sure you are having fun.
From dunking to serving to diving and sprinting, we will say our last sign-off as your sports anchors.
Are you ready for your new stage in life to begin?
Yes, I am. I'm Brittany
And I'm Caesar.
with sports.
Now on to Jonathan.
Good morning, Gauchos. You know, this thing's pretty cool, I have to admit. My Moto X never leaves my side. I use it as an alarm clock, to read books, to browse Reddit, message people, as a camera, and listen to music. The smartphone is one of the greatest technological advancements of the past decade. I hold in my pocket more processing power than was available during the entirety of the Apollo missions. Everyone and their grandma has a smartphone now, and an ecosystem is built around mobile platforms. An ecosystem that fosters global communication, instantaneous messaging, and you're always connected to everyone else. Everyone knows what you're doing, where you're doing it, and how you're doing it. Though I agree, a smartphone and the security it offers feels kind of good. I can talk to people whenever I want and access content as long as I have an internet connection. I think I spent more hours on Reddit and Netflix than I've slept these past couple of months. So the dangers of using your phone too much is twofold. Talking to people and consuming content can get really addicting. Using social networking sites like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter can get really addicting. So Gauchos, put down the phones every once in a while and disconnect. Secondly, there can be monetary repercussions. Employers nowadays are keeping track of online profiles to screen candidates. So if you want to get a job, keep it clean, Gauchos. Back to you, Maine.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Now, where do we go to from here?
We've just received words that those attending the ceremony are in fact getting sacrificed to the god of Ra.
Wait, what? No,
Sushi.
is that even accurate? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, absolutely it's accurate. It's according to The Onion. They're going to perish for the rest of their life. We found out that they embark on a journey through a new phase in their life. Whether they succeed in this passing, it is their call altogether.
You mean they're either going to crash and burn before the ceremony, during the ceremony, after the ceremony, or long after the ceremony?
Eventually, they'll suffer and be unable to properly function. This is the only start of everything.
Dude.
And then we die, and then it's going to be
Dude, that is
apocalyptic
just
and-
morbid. We have to make sure, though,
cry and-
that all Gauchos are prepared for everything.
Alrighty, so here are some guidelines to make sure you at least don't die during this event.
Number one, forget that you're a part of the ceremony. I mean, still participate in it, but try to enjoy your peers around you as much as possible because it's going to be the last time.
And dose, be aware that you can fight through all of this.
Son, last but not least, be responsible afterwards. Try
Don't
not-
drink and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave the milk at home. This event, we've been told, has been happening for years upon years upon years. But we can make it through this time
Will
around.
people ever come back after the events?
No. Narbonne, Narbonne.
Go Bears, go! I don't think I'm ever
I don't
coming
even
back.
know my own.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, here are some general announcements for you Gauchos. First, make sure you all study hard for finals week.
I'll make sure I study hard. Stop, no.
Joke's on you guys, we have no finals. So
All
good luck to
AP
you guys
classes.
anyways.
Second, we're coming up on the end of the school year, so you better make sure to get all your textbooks in. Pay any dues at the library and turn in any homework.
And just be good students. Third, enjoy this weekend.
And get ready for graduation, seniors.
Woo! After this ceremony, we will never, ever come back.
Praise. One last thing, if
I
you guys
can't-
are interested.
Oh, what?
No, slow
I'm not
down.
done yet.
If you guys are interested, on the 29th, there is the acoustic show over at the library. It's an open mic event, and hopefully you guys will come along.
I'll be there.
All right? Well, that's all for today's Gaucho News. I'm Kim,
And I'm Marianne.
and we'll see...
What?
Wait,
What's happening?
they're not getting sacrificed?
Oh, you're next. You're number 5.
No.
It says it on your hand.
Oh, they're graduating! That story wasn't true at all. You know what? That's all for today's Gaucho News. I'm
I
Kim,
hate you.
and we'll see you next week.